At the reunion, my ex-girlfriend's eyes are red from crying. Ethan, why can't you just love me again? I look at the ring on my finger and answer quietly, Willow, I'm already married. At this reunion, all of us turning 30, Willow Chen stands out among a room full of people who've gained weight with age. Even in the farthest corner, she spots me instantly. The moment our eyes meet, my heart lurches. I look at her face. No longer the girl I remember, both a stranger's face and one I know by heart. 8 years, and here we are again. It catches me completely off guard. She looks at the ring on my finger and smiles like it's nothing. Married? You're the last one in our class still single. Wait, I mean me. Miss Chen's still the last one flying solo, though I hear she's about to marry an official's son. Congratulations in advance, then. After a round of laughter and clinking glasses, someone in the crowd pipes up, Ethan, if you two never broke up back then, you'd be marrying into money right now. Yeah, don't you regret it? We were young and stupid, it was just puppy love. Bring your wife out sometime, let us see what type you actually go for. Ha! When did you even get married, Ethan? You didn't tell anyone. You never once posted her on social media after graduation. Don't tell me she's too plain to show off. She's abroad. Everyone wears that same look. The smug amusement of an outsider watching a show. Everyone knows my breakup with Willow years ago was messy and humiliating. She waited outside my dorm all night begging me to get back together, and I forced myself not to go down. Now she's back, successful beyond anyone's imagination. It feels like a silent slap in my face. Naturally, everyone wants to fan the flames a little more. I heard Willow Chen just bought out the company Ethan works for. She's your boss now, better perform well. Manager Fang, aren't you going to toast Miss Chen? Miss Chen, please look after me from now on. Of course. After all, Manager Fang and I go way back. Excuse me, I need the restroom. I look up and stare blankly at my 30-year-old reflection in the mirror. Look at Ethan, still looks like he's in his early 20s. No wonder he had Willow so obsessed with him back then, with that quiet charm. Please, who even knows if he's really married, 30 and no kids? Never even posted his wife. If you ask me, he's probably some rich woman's side piece. I've seen it myself. Apparently he bought a place downtown. How could a poor kid like him afford that? Then this rich woman can't be that impressive. If he'd stuck with Willow instead, he'd have gone from rags to riches. Please, someone from his background. True, doing this well already counts as a miracle. As if the Chens would ever look twice at him. True, no idea how those two even ended up together back then. And Ethan was the one who dumped her. He must be kicking himself now. Do I regret it? No. Sooner or later you have to say goodbye to what you can't hold on to. I always knew she'd end up here. She's always been the one who shines. At 18, she was the prettiest girl in school. While the rest of us fought through the college entrance exam, her path to a top university was already paved. At 30, she's a PhD returning home in glory. I was proud of myself for a $70,000 salary. While she's already worth over $100 million, I never imagined we'd cross paths again. I certainly never imagined the boss's daughter buying out the company would be her. My ex is now my boss. Mortgage, car loan, forget it. One step at a time. It's been 8 years since we split. She's probably long stopped caring. Miss Chen, let me drive you home. Oh, thanks, no need. I already called a driver. This area's too out of the way. Afraid old feelings will resurface. Ethan, it's been 8 years. Do you really think I'm that pathetic, throwing myself at a married man my own age? Give me a rundown of the company on the way. Refusing again would just look forced. All right, Miss Chen. I manage Project Department 2. Currently, there are 3 departments under projects. A new team is expected to launch after the new year. Right now, Mr. Feng oversees the company. I see. Department 2 was formed 3 years ago. Over the years, at the very least, I've earned a solid footing here, currently ranked first in performance. We plan to push even harder next year. The Health and Culture Festival this year, you organized it? Yes. I'm planning a personnel restructuring for the company. What do you think, Manager Fang? The company, once bought out by a publicly traded group, naturally got a nice new shine. But of course, some celebrate while others worry. The good news, growth opportunities for staff, obviously. The bad news, rumors of layoffs. Plenty of people fear losing their jobs. Leadership's decisions are always carefully weighed in the company's best interest. As employees, our job is simply to execute well. You've changed. Even the way you talk is smoother now. People grow, that's all. You've matured a lot too, Miss Chen. I have. I've changed so much. I've learned to walk with my head held high. I've learned to be worldly, polished. I'm no longer ashamed, no longer poor. But that unreadable smile of Willow's instantly drags me back to those years when I felt lower than dust. I've never met my birth mother. She left the moment she had me, unwilling to live in poverty. My father dumped me on my grandmother, then landed in prison for a robbery over unpaid debts. It was my grandmother collecting recyclables who raised me. I was born in the mud, while she was like a cloud in the sky, worlds apart, never meant to cross. I first saw Willow Chen when I was 16, picking through trash with my grandmother beside her family's mansion. I wore shoes with the soles peeling off, my school uniform hanging loose, trailing timidly behind my grandmother. Willow's mother, taking pity on us, called into the yard. "Willow, do we have any cardboard boxes or plastic bottles left?" "Yes, there are. Thank you." "Wait here, I'll bring some more. Son, study hard, and things will get better." I was touched and humiliated at the same time. I made a silent vow to study relentlessly, hoping that by 30 I could own a house like theirs. Reality has a way of teaching hard lessons. No matter how fast a train runs, it can't outrun a plane. We're both 30 now. She drives a Rolls-Royce. The gap couldn't be more absolute. I once naively believed all roads lead to Rome, not knowing some people are born there already. You can fight your whole life and only make it to the outskirts of Rome, while some people simply move from the edge of the city to its very center. "Mr. Fang, you're home." "Thank you, Miss Chen. It's too late. I won't invite you up." "Well-mannered, Manager Fang. Good night, Miss Chen." "Ethan, have you been well these years?" "I've been fine. Is she good to you?" "She's good to me." "Good. That's good, Ethan." I bite back the ache in my ankle and slowly turn to face Willow's expression in the dark, that face I've dreamed of countless times. A phrase suddenly comes to mind. One glance, a lifetime. "Aren't you going to ask how I've been these years?" "How have you been then?" "Good and not good. I'm getting married." "Will you wish me well?" "Of course. Congratulations on the wedding. May you grow old together." "Willow, then let's just hope we both get a good ending." 8 years, and I thought I'd let go. So why does one moment still leave me this shaken? If I'd known love would hurt this much, better we'd never met at all. That youthful romance, unfinished, was full of feeling, brief and full of regret. In our senior year of high school, a new student transferred into our class. She stood at the front and introduced herself. "Hi everyone, I'm Willow Chen." Wow, she's gorgeous. She's way too pretty. I snuck a glance up at her. She seemed taller than when I'd seen her years before. "Where would you like to sit?" "I'd like to sit with the quiet one who studies hard." And so she became my desk partner. There was no thrill, no excitement, only tension, embarrassment, even shame in that instant. I was terrified she'd recognize me as the boy who once picked trash outside her family's mansion. "Hi, I'm Willow." "Hi, desk mate, I'm Ethan Fang." "Nice to meet you, Ethan. What are your hobbies? What do you like to eat? Any songs you love?" Most of the time it was her doing all the talking while I stayed quiet, head down. Willow had a wonderful personality, polite to everyone, and easy to like. Before long, she became the crush of half the boys in class, openly or secretly. Many of them would ask me to pass their love letters to her. Shy and slow to warm up, I'd always need a long time to work up the nerve just to hand her the letters, as if I were the one who'd written them. Willow, this is a letter from one of the boys. But I already like someone." "Ugh, when's the person I like going to write me a love letter, Ethan? If you were writing a love letter to someone you liked, what would you say?" "Willow, no dating in high school." "Ha, then let's wait until after graduation." "Ethan, why are you blushing? Do you like someone?" I pretended to read, my heart already racing. "No." She laughed it off. But that night, before falling asleep, I turned that question over in my head for a long time. What would I write if I ever confessed to the person I liked? I thought of Shu Ting's poem To the Oak Tree, the idea that real love isn't a climbing vine using another's height to show itself off, nor a devoted bird endlessly repeating the same song for someone else's shade. I wanted to stand beside her as an equal, like two trees rooted side by side, each with its own strength and form, each carrying its own weight and its own fire. What I wanted was a love where we stood as equals, independent yet devoted to one another. But back then I was trapped in the mess of my own family, too poor, too timid, too weighed down by shame to ever hold my head up. I wore the same pair of clearance canvas shoes, $4 a pair, for 2 years. They were a size too small. When the soles came apart, I glued them back with superglue. When the canvas yellowed, I secretly colored it back white with chalk. Passing brand new sneakers in the mall, I'd steal glance after glance at them. Those shoes cost about $12. Nothing fancy, but they were new. They'd fit right. Running in them would be effortless. But $12 meant my grandmother collecting scrap for weeks. Every time I saw her walking with her hand pressed to her aching back, I forced that want back down. Did the shoes pinch? I wondered, if I'd had a mother, would she have treated me this way too? I never got the chance to find out. "Aren't you supposed to wear sneakers for class? Ethan, how are you supposed to run in those?" I forgot. "Happy birthday, Ethan. Surprised? I peeked at your ID. Here's your birthday present. It was free. Buy one, get one." "Thank you, but I can't accept this." It didn't cost anything. It's too expensive. I'm sorry, I really can't take it. Ethan, we've been deskmates all this time. You don't even consider me a friend? It's not that. Think of it as a tutoring fee. I'm taking the TOEFL and my English is terrible. If I fail, my mom will kill me. Please help me, I'm begging you. Tutors outside charge $14 an hour. I'm the one getting the deal here. Alright, it's settled then. Things will get better. I thought back 2 years to that voice saying, study hard, son, and life will get better. Both mother and daughter were gentle like that, seeing right through my embarrassment, yet still protecting what little pride I had left. That day, Willow stood beneath a sky blazing with sunset glowing against the light. Ethan, someday, get me a pair of crystal slippers. Under that crimson sky, Willow seemed to carry the light itself. She was the princess in glass slippers. I was no prince. From then on, every day after school, I tutored Willow in English for an hour. She was already sharp, quick to grasp new ideas the moment I explained them. Redo this clause. Teacher Fang, you're so strict. Remember this. Ethan, how are you so good at studying? Ethan, why do you barely talk? It's nothing. It was around then I learned that children from wealthy families were often sent abroad to study, while the rest of us fought tooth and nail through the brutal college entrance exam. Her parents had already paved a smooth road to a top overseas university, with tuition alone rumored to cost tens of thousands a year, an astronomical figure to me. Since that same year, I nearly dropped out over $170. In our senior year, the school suddenly added an extra fee of about $300. My family could only scrape together about $115. My grandmother didn't sleep a wink, worried sick over the rest. I gathered every ounce of courage. Sir, could I pay the fee a little later? My family's really struggling. That was the first time I realized asking for help hurts more than poverty itself. In the end, Willow marched furiously up and pulled me down off the stage. She stubbornly returned every cent that classmates had donated and quietly covered the rest of my tuition herself. Ethan, if you needed money, why didn't you tell me? I didn't know how to say it. I didn't want her pity, didn't want to owe her a debt. I wanted us to be equals. I'll pay you back as soon as I can. Thank you, Willow. That winter break, I took a job at a fishing gear factory on the outskirts of town, painting fishing rods. The fumes were so sharp people said doing it long-term could cause lung cancer. But it paid about $11 a day, and plenty of people, driven by hardship, were still willing to trade their health for that money. After that winter, I finally paid Willow back in full. Ethan, you really couldn't stand owing me anything, could you? I'd rehearsed so many things to say. Me, who once wrote a perfect score essay, never imagined I'd run out of words. After that incident, the whole class started buzzing with rumors. Many said Willow liked me. Others said she just pitied me. I felt panicked and a little afraid. So, you're my daughter's deskmate. Willow's suddenly insisting on going to university here instead of abroad. Do you know why? Real affection should lift each other up, not hold someone back. Please help me talk her out of it. I hesitated for a long time afterward, then went to find Willow myself. Willow, go study abroad. Do you really want me to go? Yes, go see the world for both of us. I'll work hard too. I want to become the tree standing equal beside yours. Never underestimate a poor boy's future. Let's each shine in our own way, and maybe one day we'll meet again at the top. I'll go, I promise, but we stay close like before. You can't hide from me anymore. From then on, Willow and I seemed to grow even closer. She loved talking to me about everything under the sun, though most of the time it was her talking and me listening. Every so often, I'd turn to catch her staring at me, unguarded, and I'd instinctively look away. Pay attention to class. Willow was carefree by nature. Once her period stained her pants and she didn't even notice. I went red in the face and bought her pads from the convenience store. There were so many brands, they all looked different. I didn't know which one you use. Thank you. I'd heard that girls should drink something warm during their period, so I bought her a milk tea too. I handed her the warm cup. Thanks, Ethan. That line on the cup, "You're mine," what does that mean? I don't know, I said quietly. The top student who scores 135 in Chinese class doesn't even know this? I stayed silent. Of course I understood exactly what it meant because the syrupy slogan on the cup had another line beneath it. Something about being the tea so it could be held in her hands. Ethan, do you know which Jay Chu song is my favorite? Is it good? It's beautiful. I'll just hum a bit today. Someday I'll show you what I can really do. In that moment, I thought of her humming Sunny Day. The countdown to the college entrance exam kept shrinking, and the moment of parting drew closer with it. At the graduation party, Willow wore a beautiful dress. I sat quietly, my face giving nothing away, though inside my heart was in turmoil, grateful for one more day to love her, however briefly, but in the end it seems like the story still ended in goodbye. The ending is goodbye, but some goodbyes deserve to be said with a smile. Willow turned to look out at the crowd. Our eyes met in silent understanding. Years later, I finally understood. What she felt in that instant was the first flutter of love. That summer, on the back cover of Willow's English textbook, I wrote out that poem about the oak tree. In return, she helped me set up a QQ account. The password is lolry1226. In case you forget me. Why didn't you come to the graduation dinner? It was split evenly, about $14 each. I'm leaving in a few days anyway. Safe travels then. You don't say that for a flight. Sorry, I've never actually flown before. It's fine. You'll have plenty of chances. Someone as smart as you will be a billionaire one day. Here, this is for you. You made this yourself? This is amazing. One of a kind in the whole world. I'll treasure it. I never told Willow the truth. That little fox charm was one of a matching pair. I kept the other one. One last hug, Ethan. Everything will be fine. After that, we each ran off into our own separate worlds. We were fine, each on our own side of the earth. I used to think if only the story had ended right there. Something more than friends but never quite lovers. An affection neither of us dared say out loud. The most intimate thing we ever shared was that one hug before we parted. No heartbreak that followed. No falling apart. Just a memory that should have stayed sweet. If we'd met again at 30 and she told me she was getting married, I might have happily handed her a red envelope and said, Willow, congratulations on your wedding. Thanks for looking out for me back then. I've got a bit of money now, so let me give you this. Maybe I'd even joke around a little. Hey, old classmate, you know I used to have a crush on you. Instead, I faked an easy smile, wished her a lifetime of happiness, then turned away, already unable to hold back the tears. After crying, I quietly wiped my eyes and told myself it was fine. Just get some early sleep and tomorrow will be better. I put the mask back on and stepped out of the elevator, toward the place people call home. Where were you? Why so late? Do you have any idea how long your old man's been waiting? Sitting outside the door was a man, Frank Fang, my biological father. A year earlier, the police had contacted me to say he'd been released from prison. The word father, I'd only ever known it from textbooks, where it's described as a mountain of love. But not every father in this world lives up to that. I could count on one hand the times I'd seen him in my life. The neighbors used to say my mother left the moment I was born, unwilling to live in poverty. My father drifted around for years, until his creditors finally came knocking at our door. He stole the tuition money my grandmother had saved for me, and called me a burden on top of it. I found your stepmother recently. She wants about $40,000 before she'll let your half-brother acknowledge me. Give you $40,000? Why would I? Have you ever spent a single dollar on me? Because I'm your father? Because you carry the Fang name? I'm getting old, I need a son to take care of me in my old age. I don't have the money, and even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. Fine, I've got no shame left anyway. If you're not embarrassed, I'll just sit right here. Let the whole neighborhood come see what an ungrateful son you turned out to be. Life like this, chaotic, exhausting, sometimes pushes me right to the edge. I put in my earplugs and stroke Momo's soft white fur, feeling the vibration of his purring. Momo is a stray cat I rescued 6 years ago. Back then his skin was covered in sores, and he limped on one leg. I found him shivering in the cold on New Year's Day. So you're a stray too, huh? Let's stick together, then neither of us has to be the unwanted one anymore. I spent a long time nursing him back to health and eventually he recovered. Over the years he's grown round and healthy, though the limp never went away. Every evening when I come home from work, no matter how late, Momo hobbles over, meowing, to greet me. At night, listening to him purr. No matter how rough my day was, I feel healed again. When a new boss takes charge, the first casualties are always the underworked staff and support roles. Overnight, plenty of people lost their jobs, and everyone grew anxious. It became the talk of the office. The new boss, Ms. Chen, is really gorgeous. Total package, wealthy, beautiful, the works. Forget it, she's already getting married. Apparently she likes tall, lean, quiet guys. Why does it feel like I've seen Ms. Chen somewhere before? Oh, I remember now. Ethan, your wife. I saw her photo once before and she looks exactly like Ms. Chen. Manager, show us that photo of your wife again. I got a new phone, it's not saved on here. I made an excuse and slipped out of the office. I stared at the ring on my finger, momentarily lost in thought. There was no wife, of course. I'd bought the ring myself and claimed to be married. Partly to dodge all the well-meaning matchmaking and relentless flirting, and partly because of workplace drinking culture, where I often got hints and signals I couldn't quite navigate. Eventually, I just decided to say I was married, to keep the hassle to a minimum. Figured I'd probably never actually marry anyway. My coworkers kept curiously asking about it, so I told them my wife was abroad. Everyone kept teasing, demanding to see a photo. The only photo I had saved was an old one of Willow. She's doing well. She has someone she likes now, too. A poor kid like me was never going to be good enough for her anyway. That guy must be pretty amazing then. Manager Fang, come to the front desk quickly. Someone claiming to be your father is causing a scene. My son, Ethan Fang. I worked myself to the bone putting him through school, and now that he's made something of himself, he won't even acknowledge his own father. Someone tell me if that's fair. Every day he walks around dressed to the nines living the good life, but he won't spare a single dollar for the man who raised him. Is Manager Fang really like that? He always seemed like such a decent person. There you are, boy. Look at what you've done to me. Everyone, take a good look. This is my son, and he's got no conscience at all. For a moment it felt like I was back in that high school gym class again. That same humiliation I'd felt at 18, one I thought I'd never have to feel again. But at 30, I still hadn't managed to escape it. Mr. Fang, does everyone have too much free time on their hands? Willow's voice rang out, sharp and commanding. I didn't know Ethan even had a father. Who are you? I'm his boss. Take him to the office, get legal on the phone. Don't come in, wait outside. I never found out exactly what Willow said to Frank. I only knew that a man like him wouldn't just give up empty-handed. In the executive office, I stood on the plush carpet, my face burning with embarrassment. Did he ask for money? I'll transfer it to you. Miss Chen already handled it. Thank you, Miss Chen. Thank me, Manager Fang? How exactly? Right. What could I possibly offer her? Here's an idea. Let Manager Fang plan my wedding. I hope you won't disappoint me. But I've never planned a wedding before. You handled the health and culture festival for thousands of people without a hitch. A single wedding should be nothing. Besides, no one knows my taste better than you. Understood. The next day, I met Willow's fiance. Hey, I'm Makoto Ito. Mr. Ito, hello, I'm Ethan Fang, in charge of planning your wedding with Ms. Chen. Hey, could you get me a glass of water? Secretary Fang, bring in a glass of water, please. So, does Ms. Chen have any specific requests? Just fill the venue with flowers. As for the music, use Sunny Day. Years ago, she'd once said our wedding would be covered in flowers, with that same song playing in the background. She hadn't forgotten. Only the man beside her wasn't me. That's fine, I'll take care of it right away. Good. As for the rest, take your time, Manager Fang. I have another meeting. Odd woman. Hey, let's grab something to eat, I'm starving. If you can't finish, just wait for me a bit. I've been craving this place for 2 years. It's not exactly this one. I used to come here often too. Just didn't expect to see you somewhere like this. You have no idea how bland food is overseas. This hot pot stall's been around for years. My sister always used to stop me from eating too much of it. I still snuck out for it all the time. Mr. Ito, do you really have no requests for the wedding? After all, everyone should get to dream of a memorable wedding. Look, man, this is a business arrangement. You don't have feelings for Willow? Why would I? I just think you two seem like a better match. That was out of line to me, sorry. No, it's fine. Willow's great in every way. Good family, successful, beautiful, well-educated. So do you like her? Don't joke around, how could I ever measure up? You two knew each other before, didn't you? My heart tightened. How did you know? I guessed. The way you look at someone you like, it's not something you can hide. Let me tell you a secret. The person I like has a terrible temper and likes to hit people too. Look at me. I should be good enough for her, right? But she's just standing by watching me marry someone else. Yeah. Maybe in the adult world, loving someone, being able to be together, and being able to marry them are 3 completely different things. Suddenly my mood soured. Come drink with me. I know this place better than anyone. Open a bottle of Ace of Spades, and get me 10 karaoke hostesses. I hadn't expected kids these days to party like this. Makoto drank cup after cup, and with such a low tolerance he was drunk within minutes. Where do you live? I'll take you home. I don't have a home. With no other choice, I called Willow to come pick him up. I'm his sister. I'll take him home now. Please look after the guests. Right. He sure knows how to party, ordering 10 hostesses. Mr. Ito's sister had taken him home. He probably thinks I'm the one who ordered those 10 hostesses. That wasn't his sister. That was his ex-girlfriend. Ethan, why don't we have an affair instead? I heard you found yourself a replacement for me. That's not, don't you like this type? Let me clear things up. The real thing's back now. So when's the divorce? I'm not getting a divorce. Not divorcing? She let out a cold laugh, then yanked the ring right off my finger and threw it aside. Willow, what are you doing? You're not even married. Why wear this junk? Afraid old feelings will resurface, keep me clinging to you? Of course not. Miss Chen, why would you do something so reckless now? Right. I've already done plenty of reckless things. She kissed me roughly, almost biting, releasing years of pent-up frustration. Ethan, have you thought about me all these years? No. How could I not have? For years, waking or dreaming, she was all I ever saw. Mommy, who's that man? He keeps staring at you. He might be an old classmate of Mommy's, but I don't really remember. What's your name, classmate? Ethan. Ethan. What am I to you, really? Was there something wrong with me? Why treat me that way and then turn around and fall for someone else? She couldn't hold back her tears anymore. Ethan, why can't you just comfort me even now? I looked at the 30-year-old Willow standing in front of me. One voice inside told me, Ethan, if you want happiness, stop overthinking. Be brave, just once more. But another voice said, Ethan, you need to understand, there is no future left between the two of you. There never will be, not in this lifetime. I'm sorry, I don't love you anymore, Willow. Listen, it's raining outside now. Sunny day was only ever a few clouds drifting through an autumn dream. Wanting to buy sweet osmanthus and set sail with wine again, it's never quite the same as it was in youth. That young love was a wild rose blooming on the mountainside, the kind you'd throw everything away for once your heart was caught. It was beautiful and pure. But I'm 30 now. As Mo Yan once wrote in one of his books, falling for anything when you're young is forgivable, and letting go of anything once you've grown up is never wrong. She was my first heartbeat of youth, the one act of courage I only had once in my whole adolescence, a joy that came to nothing, a longing I never quite settled. Back then, our being together and our parting never had any dramatic twist to it. If there had to be a reason, it was simply this. We liked each other, but we weren't right for each other. After we started college, Willow would message me often on QQ, though we were separated by a 12-hour time difference. My day was her night, so I told the moon how much I liked her instead. She'd often leave comments on my profile, even though most of my time back then was spent either working part-time or studying. We were on opposite ends of the earth, living in completely different worlds, each doing our best. I thought we'd stay this way forever. Ethan, I heard Chloe Shen likes you. Willow happened to overhear that exact remark. Ethan, who's Chloe? Is she pretty? She's alright, I guess. Truthfully, Chloe and I had barely exchanged a few words. All I knew was that we were both among the poorest students in class. I'd heard she was from the countryside and had lost her father young. We'd occasionally cross paths at the cheapest food stall in the cafeteria, or at the station where free soup was served. Between my part-time job and rushing to class, she'd sometimes save me a seat. Do you like her? No? Then do you like me? I like you quite a lot, actually. No, I really like you. So why don't you consider chasing after me? Willow's sudden confession left me completely distracted for the rest of the day. The next day, she actually showed up at my school. A confession should be said face to face, to really mean something. Ethan, are you going to chase after me or not? Honestly, I'm really easy to win over. Just say one word, that you like me, and I'm your girlfriend. I like you. I like you so much, so much. That was the one and only time in my life I threw caution to the wind for something I wanted. Back then, we walked hand in hand through every corner of campus. On an empty path, I leaned in and kissed her lips. Then we began this long-distance relationship. He could be so childish. If I was slow to reply, he'd flood my phone with messages. When I'm mad, you have to coax me. Just call me baby and I'll forgive you. I've always been the stiff, boring type. Every time he had to tease me until I gave in. He got upset easily, but he was just as easy to win back. She understood how hard things were for me, and she protected my pride. She knew I'd never accept anything expensive, so she always picked something affordable to send me. Whenever she had time, she'd fly back to see me. We held hands, hugged, kissed, but I always held back from that last step. Of course I wanted her. What man wouldn't? I was just afraid. Afraid I couldn't give her a future. Afraid I'd hold her back. Afraid she'd fall too deep for someone like me. She always got upset about this. She thought I didn't love her enough. That year she noticed my shoes were worn through. On my birthday, she gave me a pair of shoes, the box covered in foreign text. I didn't recognize the brand back then. She said it was just a birthday gift, nothing expensive at all, but I could never bring myself to wear them. That year, Grandma suddenly fell. She broke a bone and needed surgery. Even after scraping together everything, we were still short by 30,200 yuan. Ethan, let's not treat it. I'm old, I'm supposed to die. That way it won't cost anything. Don't worry, Grandma. You're going to live to 100. My Ethan is the best. Grandma's waiting to enjoy your good fortune. That day, I hesitated for a long time. Then I called Willow and asked if she could lend me 30,200 yuan. I'd pay her back next month once my scholarship came in. In that moment, everything I'd held onto for years seemed to collapse at once. Willow transferred me 10,000 yuan right away. Is this enough? I didn't know what to say. Stubbornly, almost foolishly, I only accepted the 3,200. Ethan, right now you're my boyfriend. One day you'll be my husband. Someday you'll have to support me, you know? The next day she appeared out of nowhere right in front of me. That time we went to the hospital together to see Grandma. She waited with me outside the operating room, holding my hand tightly. Grandma's surgery went smoothly. She looked at Willow and smiled with relief. Ethan has someone to look after him now. Even if I die, I can rest easy. But Grandma can't go yet. You have to see us get married, see us have a baby. So live a few more years, all right? But in the end, she never got to see it. She never got to enjoy the life I'd promised her. On an ordinary day, she collapsed in the street. In her hand was a bag of shrimp she'd just bought, still very much alive. But she had stopped breathing. Her heart had stopped. It was a heart problem. Were there never any signs before? Whatever illness she had, she must have hidden it from me. How could I be so useless, noticing nothing? She raised me by collecting scrap, scraping together my school fees. Why couldn't she just wait one more year? Just one more year, and I could have graduated. I could have earned money and taken care of her. Son, call your parents. It's time to prepare for the funeral. The morgue fee is 300 yuan a day. The hearse is 600 yuan a trip. An urn costs over 1,000. There was the burial clothing, the cremation, all the other funeral costs. All at once I realized I couldn't even afford to give Grandma a proper send-off. I'm working part-time at a club now, keeping guests company. I can make several hundred, sometimes over 1,000, a day. I could get you a job there, but it won't just be singing. That day, out of nowhere, Willow's mother reached out to me. She invited me to her house. I put on the nicest clothes I owned. There was none of the dramatic scenes you'd see on TV. Her mother was still just as gentle as ever. I'd always known Willow's family was well off, but I never knew just how well off. Her handbags took up an entire wall of the closet. Any one of them cost more than years of my part-time wages. The price of those bags could buy several houses for an ordinary family. The bag she carried when she was with me, I thought it was already expensive. I never realized it was the cheapest one she owned, bought on purpose. Ethan, I know you're dating Willow, but do you know, she's been flying back so often to see you that her grades are slipping. I'm sorry. You're both still students. Your studies should come first. Willow still plans to continue her studies after her bachelor's degree. And with you back home, she worries about you constantly. I heard your father is still serving time and it's just your grandmother at home. If you ever need money for anything, you can come to me, or to Willow. Thank you, but I don't need it. You're a smart boy. No wonder Willow stayed with you all these years. My daughter, she's been kind-hearted since she was little. Whenever she saw a stray animal on the street, she'd bring it home. We ended up with 2 whole rooms just for the cats and dogs she rescued. These shoes, Willow gave them to you, didn't she? I don't even remember how I made it out of the Chen family's house that day. I only remember that the gentler her mother's smile got, the more ashamed I felt. I looked it up later. That limited edition pair sold for 32,000 online, so I sold them. I'd worn them once, so they counted as second-hand. If you need to sell fast, this is the price. 12,000, take it or leave it. I used that money to give Grandma a proper funeral. Willow's calls kept coming again and again. What have you been up to these past few days? What? I don't have a home anymore. Nothing. I just miss you, baby. Not long after, she flew back again from the other side of the world. Ethan, I miss you too. I want to see you. Willow, don't come anymore. You need to focus on school. That night, she'd already booked a hotel. Usually I'd just quietly lie beside her until morning came. But that night, after her shower, she lay in my arms. Ethan, you want this too, don't you? The body doesn't lie. I forced myself to hold back, not even daring to look at her. I'm willing to give myself to you. Don't overthink it. We'll only get better from here. We'll get married. We'll have a beautiful baby, and you'll earn plenty of money too. That night I held the girl I loved and didn't sleep a wink. When did you first fall for me? Probably when you played piano and sang Sunny Day. That late? Well, I liked you long before that. How much earlier? I'll tell you on our wedding day. Do you want a Chinese-style wedding or a Western one? I think I'd look stunning in a red wedding gown, but I also want to wear a white dress and watch you get down on one knee. You'll say, I do, and we'll fill the whole venue with flowers with Sunny Day playing. Willow went on and on, painting a picture of our wedding. I remembered every single detail, but in the end, I broke that promise. The next day, my scholarship was mysteriously given to someone else. Willow's mother came to find me. Willow's planning to come home after her bachelor's, but our family wants her to keep studying. I can give you a sum of money or send you abroad to study. On one condition, stop holding my daughter back. She still wore that same gentle expression. I almost wished she'd screamed at me instead. She's a princess. Can you really bear to let her suffer? She was right. How much longer was I going to hold her back? A poor nobody like me. Years of working myself to the bone, and I couldn't even afford one of her handbags. Willow, I don't think I can marry you. When exactly did I start pulling away? Was it the day I sold the shoes? Or maybe earlier, the day I asked you for money? Whatever pitiful pride I had left had already burned to ash. I saw Willow off at the airport. It was a bright, clear day. If we ever broke up, would you forget me? Sure, I'd find some handsome foreigner and make you regret it. That stuffed toy I gave you back then, I actually have one just like it. I know, they're a matching pair. Back then, on the back of your English textbook, I wrote a poem. I saw it later. You silly girl, I knew all along. I waved goodbye to her, and let her disappear into the crowd. On the most ordinary of days, I let go of the most important person in my life. After that, I slowly began to pull away. I stopped answering her calls, stopped replying to her messages. She started losing her temper, and we began to fight. Willow, maybe we should just break up. She couldn't understand what she'd done wrong. Why break up? Just coax me and it'll be fine. Why are you doing this? There was a guy in my dorm who always said the same line whenever he turned someone down. You're just not my type. Ethan, are you kidding me? We've been together 2 years and you're telling me I'm not your type? She came and stood outside, my dorm building, waiting all night. I sat by the window and watched her the whole time. I'd never understood before what books meant when they described real heartache. That night, I felt it for the first time. My chest felt so tight I could barely breathe, my heart aching with every breath. In the end, her mother came and took her away. Life is long, Willow. I don't think we'll see each other again. She used to love reading romance novels. I always hated leads who never spoke up. People like that don't deserve love. They deserve to suffer. But when you're humbled to your very core, how could you dare to speak? Especially when she was someone so good. Even if the story ended in ruin, I'd accept it. Yes, I didn't deserve to be loved. Love grows wild like weeds, then recedes like the tide. I slowly came to understand, regret is simply the nature of life. Later, I found that staying busy could heal almost anything. Money healed me longer than anything else, so I threw myself into earning it. I worked my first job for 2 years. One night, past 9 o'clock, because I'd refused to drink with a client, Ethan, don't bother coming in tomorrow. I couldn't bring myself to spend money on a cab. I stood in the cold wind for half an hour, only to realize the last winter bus had already come and gone. I walked alone through the late-night streets with nowhere to go. Window after lit window passed by, and not a single one was mine. An adult's breakdown can happen in an instant. So it really is you doing gigs out here? A voice suddenly spoke beside me. I was crouched on the ground, and I looked up to see Chloe standing there. What's wrong? It's nothing, I just missed the last bus. Do you live far? Let me drive you home. You sure you don't mind? It's Christmas. It's hard to get a cab out here. After that we exchanged numbers. She'd check in with me often. Over time, even someone as oblivious as me could tell how she felt. I'm sorry, I don't want to date anyone right now. Is it because of your ex? I had a crush on you for a long time back then. I was just too insecure to say anything. If it's all right, could we at least try being friends? She was in her second year of grad school then, with plenty of free time. She wasn't one for words, but she always showed it through action. She'd cook a good meal and bring it to my office. She'd wait in line for whatever milk tea was trendy with the girls, just to bring it to me. There were more and more flavors around by then, each one better than the last, but I always thought of the girl who once sang Sunny Day for me. Ethan, I really do like you. Then one day her mother ran into me and started asking careful, roundabout questions about my background. Please stay away from my daughter. Your father's a convicted criminal. Being with you would ruin her. After she graduates, she needs a stable career, a family background like yours. No family would ever accept it. I finally understood that saying, at its core, life is something you live alone. Maybe an adult's loneliness means carrying your own joy and sorrow, alone. So over the years, I turned myself into a lone wolf. I worked myself to the bone, threw myself into self-improvement. I learned to socialize, learned the polite small talk. I grew smooth, worldly, good at handling people, slowly becoming the kind of person I used to despise. The calmest, most treasured moment of my day was opening the front door to see Momo hobble over on his crooked leg. I'd listen to him purring and drift off to sleep with him in my arms. His soft little paws would rest against me, that gentle purring sound filling the room. Something about how sweet he was always reminded me of someone. Good boy. In a couple of days I'll get you the fanciest cat food there is. Everything's gonna be fine. But slowly Momo grew old, and he ate less and less. One day after work, I ran into Willow's mother. It had been years. Time seemed to have forgotten her. Ethan, you've changed quite a bit. You look just the same. Willow has changed a lot too. She's worked hard these years. Studying, earning her own money. Everything's been moving in the right direction. I told her, sweetheart, you're almost 30. It's time to settle down. She said, Mom, just pick whoever you like for me. Everything was going fine, but then she suddenly changed her mind. Willow's rebellious streak all these years. It's all because of you. I heard your father caused a scene at her company recently. Willow gave him 300,000 yuan. Ethan, can you understand a mother's heart? I'm sorry, ma'am. I can't say I understand. I never had a mother, so I can't relate to what you're feeling. But I've never resented you. When I was 16, you patted my head and told me to study hard, that things would only get better. I've always been grateful for that. But I'm not 18 anymore. I'm not 22 either. I'm 30. You don't need to soften your words to spare my pride. I understand what you mean. Don't worry. I won't ruin her. Years ago, another mother once warned me the same way. I'll pay Willow back the money. That much I can still manage. She's the last person I want to owe anything to. This time, I stayed calm, composed. But then Willow's mother said one thing that dropped me straight into an abyss. 10 years ago, she lost a pregnancy because of you. 10 years later, and you're still just as stubborn. How much longer are you going to cling to her? I wired the 300,000 to her company's accounting department. I bought a pair of high heels lined with tiny crystals, and had the receptionist pass them along to Willow together with my resignation letter. Wow, they're gorgeous. Are these glass slippers? Ethan, one day you have to give me real glass slippers. She's a princess. She deserves every beautiful thing this world has to offer. I didn't drive that day. I just wanted to walk. Whenever I was upset, I used to walk the streets like this. The woman I loved had already loved me once, back when she was 20. Whoever's wife she became at 25, whoever's mother she became at 30, I wished her happiness. Willow, then, I wish you happiness. But I don't want your blessing, and I don't want to wish you happiness either. Ethan. Willow's voice stopped me in my tracks. You can settle a debt with money. But what about what we shared? I stood frozen, staring at her. The night wind stirred the hem of her coat. Willow, in the end, I was never worthy of your love. That year, you were pregnant, weren't you? Yes, we were going to have a child. The day after we broke up, I suddenly had terrible stomach pains. That night, I dreamed our baby was asking me, Mommy, don't you want me? If you don't want me, I'll go find another mommy. The doctor said the pregnancy couldn't be saved. It would end in an early miscarriage. She broke down sobbing, trembling all over. Ethan, it wasn't that I didn't want her. I thought even if we weren't together anymore, I still wanted to have her, to raise her myself, to give her everything good. But she was frugal, just like her father. The whole thing only cost me 247 yuan in exam fees. Willow held me, her eyes red from crying. I knew you well enough to know you must have had your reasons. I found out your grandmother had passed. My poor Ethan, how much you must have been hurting back then. I'm sorry, Willow. I sold those shoes you gave me. It's okay. You know me, I'm easy to win over. Just call me baby, and I'll forgive you. I've been waiting for you on the other shore all this time, waiting for you to grow strong enough, waiting for you to find the courage to come running to me. I found out later that my phone number had never changed. But you never came looking. Eventually I couldn't stand it anymore. I thought, fine, then I'll go and win you back myself. In the summer of 2025, I came back looking for you. But by then, someone else was already by your side, bringing you meals, quietly waiting for you after work, eyes only for you. Why didn't I have the courage back then to just ask you? Had you fallen for someone else? Had you forgotten me? Look how pathetic I'd become, nearly 30 years old, watching your live stream online, seeing you in a sharp suit, speaking calmly and confidently to the camera. That day, I booked a flight home. I suddenly wanted to take the gamble one more time. At some point, she'd already broken down in tears. Ethan. If it's still possible, let's fall for each other one more time. I gathered up the emotions threatening to spill over and stayed silent for a long time. Willow, let's just leave it. Don't you like me anymore? I like you very much, but I can't let myself ruin your life. I was slowly starting to understand what that phrase truly meant. As adults, our feelings come with the price tag. Every impulse gets weighed against the cost. Even when you truly care, if there's no future in it, you learn to hold yourself back. You cut away your own feelings. All those reckless urges, the ones you chase even knowing better. In the end, they all boil down to 3 words: let it go. Willow, I'm letting you disappear into the crowd once more. Thank you for coming back into my life. I won't hold you back any longer. Frank was waiting outside my door again, just like always. You found yourself such a rich partner, and you think 300,000 is enough to cut me off? I don't accept that. At the very least, it should be 3 million. Then your little scheme has come up empty. We're done. You'll never get another cent out of me. The wounds from the family you were born into, sometimes they never fully heal, not even in a lifetime. Get out of here. I let Frank keep shouting outside as I stepped in. Momo, Daddy's home. But no little furball came hobbling over to greet me. Momo, did you leave me too? Just like that child I never got to know all those years ago. Now I'm alone again, drifting with nowhere to belong. I don't have a home anymore. That night, I took sleeping pills over and over, but sleep still wouldn't come. Finally, exhaustion won out, and my eyes slipped shut. In a haze, I thought I heard someone say, "Ethan, don't fall asleep, I'll sing for you." She sang, and somewhere along the way, it sounded like she was crying too. I think I had a dream. When I woke, I saw her eyes, red and swollen. "Willow, I'm sorry, I just couldn't sleep. I think something's wrong with me." He was warm one moment, distant the next, confident, then insecure, falling apart, then somehow healing himself again. Ask him why, and even he couldn't say. He always braced for the worst possible outcome in everything, so whatever happened in the end, he could accept it without flinching. It felt like I'd lost the ability to love, or to be loved. I'd locked myself inside a fortress of my own making, aware of every bit of pain. I want so badly to save him too. Ethan, even when I try to pull you out, you refuse. A child who's been abandoned once doesn't dare hope for anyone's special favor. Just be brave, Ethan. We'll never be younger than we are today. Ethan, we're only going to get better from here. I looked at Willow standing before me, and my heavy eyelids finally gave way. In a daze, I was back at 18 again. Ethan, we're going to be okay. Will we really be okay, Willow? We will. Everything will be fine. Now be good, and tell me, Ethan will never leave Willow again. There, no more crying. In that moment, I didn't want to think about anything else. I only knew that my Willow had come back to me. In this vast, restless world, the girl who had once held my youth captive had never truly gone far. Ethan, then let's be brave one more time. In 2026, let's fall in love again, with the same person as before. Ethan, we finally don't have to be apart anymore. I looked at Willow, and she smiled so brightly it felt like time had folded back to when we were 18. Cinderella becomes a princess the moment she slips on her glass slippers. Now, even in sneakers, we feel just as blessed. At 30, Ethan no longer had to feel ashamed checking the price tag on a pair of shoes. He no longer needed to carefully hide away that old sense of cowardice. Back when we lived apart, time always slipped by too fast. Every visit felt impossibly precious. Every time we said goodbye at the airport, I'd end up crying in her arms, unable to help it. Now, we could finally hold hands and do all the things couples get to do together. We took a road trip together. From the endless stretch of blue sea and sky, to rolling green grasslands, from Gobi deserts under a moon that rang with the sound of camel bells, to standing before a magnificent stupa. We lit a stick of incense there and made a wish before the Buddha. Anything else you want? No. Everything I've ever wanted, I already have. Circling the mountains, circling the rivers, circling every stupa, not for the next life, only to meet you along the way. Amid the distant temple bells, I suddenly thought of asking the Buddha. In the style of Sangyang Gyatso, I asked the Buddha, if I meet someone worth loving but fear I cannot hold on, what should I do? The Buddha answered, leave behind all the love this world can hold, meet the countless changes of this fleeting life, and with the one you love simply do what brings you joy. Never mind whether it's fate or misfortune. Some things never change. Like the fact that I love Ethan. Like the fact that certain songs, even after all these years, still make your heart skip a beat. Some people can simply never be replaced. Just by standing there, he had already outshone everyone else in the room. After 3 long years apart, we'd finally both made it to this concert. We sang along with the music, on stage, one song after another. From the melodies we knew back then, to the songs that still make our hearts race today. That familiar voice, that lingering ache of a June long past, that bittersweet secret joy of loving someone in silence. 12 years later, that very same person was holding my hand, and we finally stood side by side. In the end, I realized the goodbye at the close of our story was really just another way of saying see you again. Willow, this time I won't lose you. Amid the crowd's cheers and screams, we held each other and kissed. Willow, I'll make up for every bit of love you never got to have. I had never known life could feel this happy. We planted little flowers and plants together. So this is what it's like, having someone to share your days with. Even the most ordinary morning could feel this bright. Oh, you've lost weight, stop it. Back when we lived apart, I never thought she was this clingy. Now it felt like our honeymoon phase was only just beginning. Falling in love at 30 really is like an old flame reigniting. Someone looks pretty pleased with themselves. I later found out that Makoto was actually Willow's junior schoolmate. That whole engagement had just been a business arrangement between them, one of them doing it to make someone else jealous, the other doing it to make me jealous. Now, every misunderstanding had finally cleared away. Makoto and Chloe finally found their own happy ending too. All that darkness that had clung to me for so long seemed to be slowly fading away at last, because this time, she hadn't left. I wore a black suit. She wore a long veil, and the shoes I'd given her, just like when we were 18. She was still that same person who shone brightest on stage. There was no father to walk her down the aisle and place her hand in mine, so instead, I stood among the flowers, waiting for my girl. She leapt down from the stage and ran straight into my arms. That moment said more than 1,000 words ever could. This time, we had truly come home. In our second year of marriage, Willow unexpectedly got pregnant. We hadn't planned on having a baby so soon, but one moment of not being careful, and just like that, we hit the jackpot. I was pretty anxious. Because of her earlier miscarriage, I spent every day on edge, terrified we might lose this baby too. I even moved my entire office home, so I could be with her every day, poring over pregnancy guides and nutrition plans. But no matter what, Willow's morning sickness was so severe for months that she couldn't keep anything down. She grew thinner and thinner. When her mother heard about it, she came by with homemade meals, knocking gently on our door. In that moment, I suddenly understood. Some kindness that comes late can still be a kind of new beginning. No mother wants to stand by and watch the daughter she'd always cherished throw everything away for one person, especially when the gap between us had once been so wide. Thank you. But she had always been a kind person at heart. Something she'd once said had warmed me for a long time. And after our wedding that day, I saw her quietly wiping away tears outside the venue. Mom, right now, anything I eat comes right back up. And your cooking is way too heavy anyway. You just don't get how strange a pregnant woman's cravings can be. Ethan, come taste this, it's really good. Willow, thank you, Mrs. Chen. Oh, you silly boy, why are you still calling me Mrs. Chen? But the word mom simply wouldn't come out of me. I'd never once called anyone mom in my whole life. I'm sorry. Oh, it's all right, sweetheart, you've done nothing wrong. Just take good care of yourself. All right, I'll head out now. After that, Willow's mother came to visit often. I'd always been used to keeping to myself, and sudden warmth or concern used to unsettle me the most. But she always knew just the right balance to strike. Thankfully, with her checking in so often, I slowly let go of the worry I'd been carrying. Every prenatal checkup came back clear, and I could finally breathe easy. Now, we were about to welcome a brand new little life into our world. Ethan, do you think these are too tight? For a moment, I drifted somewhere else in my mind. I suddenly remembered being 18, standing in front of a shop window, staring at a pair of sneakers priced at 88 yuan, over and over. In the end, a mother bought them for her son, pressing down on the toe of the shoe just like that, asking if they were too tight. Thank you, Mom. So this is what it feels like to have a mother. In the month before the birth, I cleared my entire schedule. After dinner, I'd always walk beside her, holding her steady, out along the street. One evening, I spotted a blue-eyed cat, fluffy as a snowball, a silver-shaded cat. Do you like him? Want to bring him home? No, let's not. If we bring another cat home, Momo up in kitty heaven might get jealous. Not long after, our baby was born. Amitabha, Amitabha, Amitabha. That night, I was more afraid of losing something than I had ever been in my life. Her eyes and brows looked just like mine, her nose and mouth just like Willow's. And as it happened, she was born on the first day of the lunar month. Then let's call her Momo, just like our old boy. Our baby had come home to us. Willow, thank you, I have a family again.